Hello, can you please state your name for the record?
Jonathan Ruiz,
You are how old
21,
and your primary instrument?
guitar.
Okay, welcome. And I'd like to start off this interview by asking you um, what brought you to decide to try to pursue this internship here?
Uh, One of the main reasons was location. Uh, it's not too far from home for me, so that's a big plus. Whereas right now in school, I'm about 7 hours away, and the internship site is a 3 hour difference. But another reason was just the variety of programs they offer there is so diverse. They they also have Spanish speaking patients, so they offer bilingual services. There's the out of out of sight rehab, so you don't have to be within the facility at all times. And the fact that they have a school there at the site for the kids to attend that need to be there, uh, just all that extra just seems to what's the word for it? It just seems like a really good overall program there, and that's kind of what drew me in there.
Okay, and what specific population in our program is it that you feel that you could work with?
The population I would really love to work with the most would be substance abuse, and so like any kind of drug rehab, addiction, anything like that.
And why did you decide that specific population?
uh, I chose that population because within my own personal life, I've had drug and alcohol affect me. Countless other friends, family members, I've seen what it does to people in their lives, and I feel like it's my responsibility to help and advocate for substance abuse patients because I feel like it's an area where people don't really normally gravitate towards to, whereas special education, uh, the geriatrics is more where people tend to go to for internships or work.
Okay, and speaking of location, are you willing to travel to this location, or are you thinking about moving here?
I have no problems with traveling because I've never had a problem with being away from home. I've gone to various states around the U.S. Uh, I've been to Mexico, so I've never had any problem with traveling across the country. I also have family and friends in uh, the city where the site is located, so it's never going to be an issue for me.
Okay, and are you bilingual? Do you speak a second language?
My primary language is English, but I am also conversational in Spanish.
Okay, okay, and let's talk about school now. Um, how do you feel that your college career or experiences have how have they prepared you for this continuation, this career choice now?
Within my college experience, I feel as if being involved with multiple organizations, Greek and non Greek, having held various leadership positions, and all the experience in practicum working with the various populations we got the opportunity to work with has prepared me enough and given me a good enough skill set and understanding to apply for this internship.
Okay, and you said organizations. What organizations do you mean?
I was in various honor societies, Alpha Lambda Delta, Order of Omega, which is a Greek honor society that takes in the top 3% of all Greek students. My fraternity, music therapy organization, and within my fraternity, I held president, vice president, secretary, community service chair, academic chair, and a few other positions.
Okay, and you working as a leader, how do you feel that your leadership goals have better you as a person?
I feel as if being able to lead uh, my organization here on campus has given me the opportunity to network with other people, given me the opportunity to grow socially, because back in high school I was not very social person, but here in college it's allowed me to expand myself and grow as a person.
Okay, so you feel that you have changed a lot from high school to now,
Yes.
and other than you being a little more social, how do you feel that you have grown as a person?
I feel as if my values and what is he looking for? My values and morals have changed throughout the years. So where I am more active in my community, I do community service whenever I can just to give back. I've organized various projects involving community service and presentations. So I feel like it's just allowed me to be a better person overall as I've grown.
Okay. And going to college, going back to your college career, um, what are some classes that you've taken that you just weren't the best at, and why?
One class in particular would have to be musicianship, because the first time I took it, I did not pass the class and I failed. But I worked hard when I retook it the second time, and I passed with a B, which was a major improvement from the first time I took it.
Okay. And why specifically was that class hard for you? And what did you have to do to bring yourself up so high in that class?
I think for me, it was just the fact I had never been much of a singer, so having to sing in front of a full class of people and then having to learn solfege and have the understanding of what vocal majors have to deal with was pretty much a brand new experience to me. It had never been something it had never been a part of my musical education throughout my years. So it was just probably picking it up took me a while, and so it took me that extra year just to be able to pass the class.
So when something is hard for you, you are willing to put the effort into it, is what you're saying?
Yes. Even if I fail at something, I will keep trying until I make an improvement or I reach the goal I set for myself. I've never just given up on anything because I have failed at it once.
Okay. Well, here you do work a lot with your supervisor. How do you feel that the relationship that you have with your supervisor? Do you feel that are you the type of person that if you have a problem or something's hard, that you could reach out and talk to your supervisor?
I feel as if the relationship between a intern and a supervisor should not be too formal, but it should also not be too casual. You don't want to be buddy buddy with them. They're still the person you report to who's in charge of you. You are still under them. So I feel as if you shouldn't be solely talking to them only whenever you are working with them. You should be able to contact them out of like working hours, just if you have any question about something, if you want to help on a certain area. So I feel like it should be, what's the word? It just shouldn't be too extreme on either end of formal or informal.
Okay. Speaking about having issues and working through them, how do you feel that you work under pressure?
I've never had a problem working under pressure. I've always had multiple things going on at one time, having to hold various positions in various orgs. So I've always been able to juggle more than one thing and multitask. And being under pressure with deadlines has never been an issue for me. I always have turned my work or projects in on time and never been late.
Okay. Earlier you said that you were in specific honor organizations. Do you think that your grades are a good indication of your academic achievements?
I feel that my grades do reflect my academic achievements just because I have worked very hard to maintain above a 3.5 average GPA, currently a 3.6. So I feel like it is a good reflection of the work I put into myself and in what it needs to be done.
Okay. Um, could you tell me maybe two or three accomplishments that have given you the most satisfaction?
I would say one of them would have to be when I worked with preschool kids in practicum. Uh, just being able to achieve the goals that we had set for them throughout that semester was a really good experience for me because it showed that even though it took a lot of work and it was very difficult, the work paid off at the end and it was very rewarding. Another one would have to be uh, a couple of the events I organized for my fraternity that have become annual events from now on. Just being able to get other students who are not part of my organizations to come out because they want to learn and be educated about whatever topic it may be. Just it's just been a very rewarding experience for me to see that my hard work pays off and people want to experience from that.
Okay. And what are your future goals? What are your long-term goals?
Long term goals, I would have to say having my own private practice is probably my main long term goal I have right now. Uh, Short term goal wise, I'm really striving to graduate on time, which would be 2018. But it's going to be very difficult. But if I get it done, I know that it's going to be very rewarding for me in the end. If not, I'll just have to take an extra semester too, but that's not going to stop me from graduating still.
You said that you wanted to start a private practice. Out of curiosity, do you know anything about how that works? Have you researched anything?
I know the difference between working for yourself and working under a company or organization, and the various difference in paperwork you would do as a contractor or a subcontractor. So I feel like I'm prepared enough to know everything that I would need to fill out or complete to own a private practice.
Okay. You said that you um, did some research on some schools that led you here, that led you to your university. But there are other universities in the state that has this specific degree. Why did you pick your specific college or university?
One of the main reasons I chose Sam Houston was location. Uh, Being very close to Houston, I have family, I have friends there. Uh, I also, when researching music therapy programs within Texas, I saw that Sam had one of the best programs here. So, just the fact that the location and the level of what is it? I can't think of the word right now, but just the fact of how good Sam's program was compared to other schools and universities is mostly what drew me in.
Okay. Very honest. All right. So that'll be it for all the questions. Do you have anything to play for me today?
Yes.
Okay.
I drive on the streets 'cause she's my companion. I walk through her hills, she knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses me windy. And I never worry, now that is a lie.
did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take the old away. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love.